Okay. I got it switched over. What's up, Archons? Hello, hello, hello. I'm Flightless Pheasant, and this is Odin Sona, a good buddy of mine who's come out to do a few things with me before. Some of you will recognize him. If there's any kind of problems with the stream, sound, video, anything, let me know, and I will do my very best to fix it. I am not horribly proficient, but I will do my best. Because I want this to look nice, if I can make it look nice. Like, if it's within my limited skill set. So, welcome, and as I'm sure you guys know, we are here to do a box opening for the Prophetic Vision Gamefound, and I actually convinced Odin Sona to not open his either. So he's got his right over there. I've got mine right over here. We're going to go through all the spoiler cards. We're going to go through all the decks. And we're even going to play a few games for you guys. So we've got quite a few, and I've got like a couple of, I got a surprise for later. I haven't even told Odin Sona yet. He doesn't even know what I'm doing. So, so hopefully this is going to be really cool, and you guys are going to really enjoy it, and we're going to have a good time. But I don't think there's any further ado that needs a doing. So I am ready to crack this bad boy open. And I got a new camera that's supposed to be higher quality than the one I'd been using. So hopefully it'll be a little easier for you guys to see stuff, and I can kind of hold it up and we'll get a little less glare and things will be a little more visible. So hopefully, let's see. All right. Tape's still on here.
Yeah.
This is fully sealed. I have not opened any of this yet.
I'll let you show your stuff off at your pace. I'm going to get mine open too.
Okay. And I've heard, hello from Ireland. Oh, hello. What is it? Israelizer? I hope I got that right. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us for this event. Looks like they've got packing material in the top. All right, let's see what all's in here. Hold on, I'm going to kind of obscure it a little bit while I take a peek-see. Okay, so that for sure. This for sure. Okay, yeah, we want to do that. And this should be, yup. What do we got here? Okay. Oh, okay, so that's how they did these this time around. And then there's the, okay, cool. So we'll grab these out. We'll grab this out. Okay, I'll put this away, because we don't need this. That's just my 3 boxes. Y'all don't need to see those. I got the name correct. Woo! Hey, Ace of Keys, how you doing? Okay, so that's my wife's deck. These are my name decks. That's the play mat. So I feel like it's pretty much always best to start these with the next set spoiler cards, right? Because that's the thing that everybody's gonna be really excited about. So I think that's where I want to start. Is by also introducing House Ouboros. Y'all seen this? I'm sure anyone who's opened theirs has seen it already, but apparently all the dragons are getting their own house, which, like, right? I haven't read this either, so I don't know what to expect. But I'm going to open it up. I'm going to read the thing, and then we'll look at the cards. So, you helped make this possible! Your pledge to support KeyForge, blah, yada. Because draconian measures was still in development at the time these preview cards were printed, cards at this time are still subject to change prior to their official release. Yeah, we know this, right? These are all super duper early previews. This is not like a guaranteed these will be in the set kind of thing. New house not mentioned in the other sources. Yes, it is. Yeah. So I y'all know that I'm really waiting for House Inspired to make its debut, and I was really hoping that the new house they kind of hinted at when Draconian Measures was announced would be House Inspired. It looks like it won't be. It'll be House Ouboros, which is fine. I don't know if the Dragons of the Crucible need their own house, but I guess the Giants have their own house, so, like, why not? I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do with it. For reasons I'm sure we'll get into later, I'm not overly thrilled with how Redemption has turned out from a lore perspective. The cards are good, the mechanics are good, like but y'all know me. I like the lore, and I feel like the lore for Redemption is muddled. I'll get into it more, I'm sure, either later today or in a future content. Which I apologize for being slow on content lately. Life has been hectic. Hectic. But let's start with the Draconian Measures spoiler cards, shall we? Seems like the place to begin. Okay. So that one just tells us what the cards are. I'm just going to flip them one at a time because that feels fun to me. And then do you want to do yours first? You want to do mine first? How do you do it? You want me to do it?
Just getting ready.
All right, let's do it. So my first card is called Edifice for Mars. It's a Mars card. It says destroy each non-Mars artifact. If you do, you may ready a friendly card.
Oh.
That's not bad. Hey, flavor text! Reshaping the landscape one step at a time. I like that. I'm going to see if I can get it. Let's see if I can get it remotely visible. Yeah, it's pretty glary. But you guys can kind of see the art on it at least. It's alright. I like it. I think that's pretty cool. Feels Mars, you know?
No Amber Pit, but I guess if it's gonna ready something you've got.
Yeah, I mean if this readies a Crystal Hive.
Oh gosh.
You know? Right?
Yeah.
Ready
a card is better than ready a creature.
Yeah. Super mixed on Redemption from a lore and game perspective. I have thoughts. I will share. Y'all know I'm not gonna keep it to myself. Alright. Phantasm Cloak. This one I've seen before. This one got spoiled to me, but this is a Geistoid upgrade. It has an Amber Pip, and it says this creature gains after Reek. If you are haunted, gain 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's very potent.
Yeah, I think I did hear about
that. The flavor text on this one is we merge, becoming a force greater than the sum of our parts. This one is also really cool looking. I like the flavor text. I'm happy that these have flavor text on them. That's always exciting for me. And if you didn't get a good look at it, I apologize. I got a better camera. It's not a great camera. And then the last one I pulled is also Geistoid. I don't think I've seen this one at all. It's a creature called Techno Shade. 3 power, 1 armor, Spectre Robot. After fight / after reap, your opponent shuffles a random card from their hand into their deck. Yeah, okay. That's fine. That's alright.
No, that's not bad.
Listed as an uncommon.
It's basically this card. Yeah.
Yeah, that's alright. I like it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. The Phantasm Cloak is listed as a rare. Rarities do change, by the way. These are not guaranteed to be their rarities. They have changed them before between previews and finals. But right now, Phantasm Cloak is a rare, which feels totally fair. Techno Shade's an uncommon. That's fine. Honestly, that could probably get away with being a common, and it wouldn't be too disruptive. And Edifice for Mars is also an uncommon, which also I think feels fine. I don't think that's particularly egregious. Although, it is an artifact-specific board wipe, except for your Mars artifacts, but that's very Mars-themed, so I kind of like it.
Yeah, I think that one's pretty good.
Any idea when the expansion will be available for purchase? Oh, you mean when Prophetic Visions will be available for purchase? My guess would be July at this point. Probably mid-July, if I was taking a bit of a stab in the dark. Like, I don't know exactly when, but based on their previous sort of timetables, I would say probably like mid-July, maybe as late July, depending on how long it takes them to get allocations together and how long it takes them to do an official pre-release and things like that. So, but that's a guess based on previous information. I don't have any insider knowledge, so take it with a grain of salt.
All right,
Odin-san, what'd you pull?
I have. Oh, I'm bad at these sort of names. Bleeforn?
Bleeforn, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
It is Equidon, or Equidon, depending on how you like to say it. Gatruka Soldier, 4 power, 2 armor, After fight, heal up to 2 damage from a creature. For each damage healed this way, exalt that creature. Ooh.
Well, that's not bad.
That's interesting. So he's got the power and armor to do a little bit of fighting. And if you decide in after fights, you could actually heal the thing he fights to exalt it.
Yeah.
And if they've got anything else damage on their board, or if you're willing to trade off the exalt for healing of your own creature.
Yeah.
If you got some other big one.
That feels very Equine, you know?
Yeah.
That give and take.
Yeah, it's a very much of a trade sort of card.
What's the printed rarity on it?
Common, actually.
Okay.
At the moment.
All right.
But
well, I mean, subject to change always, but...
Let's see if I can get, there we go.
It's an okay angle.
Not terrible. Maybe if I get even a little closer.
Almost legible.
I guess it's up to you to see if you can decipher that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's a bad card. It's got some give and take. I mean, and because it's an after fight, it will almost always have some use. It's not going to ever miss entirely.
It's very classic Equine, and I like that. I like it when Equine is you know, give and take. When we're getting and giving, that's when Equine, I feel like, is at its best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Then I got a Martian, the Empowered Zark. 3 power, 2 armor, Martian agent. After fight, capture 2. If there are 3 or more amber on Empowered Zark, you may move 3 from it to the common supply. If you do, ready each non-agent creature.
Rarity on that?
Uncommon.
Okay, I mean, I guess it has to proc... Well, you either have to find another way to put amber on it, or proc it twice.
Yeah. And it is an agent itself.
So it won't ready itself.
It's like John Smith in that regard. They tend to give the ready other Martian stuff the agent status in a lot of cases.
I think that's...
Yeah. It's not...
Okay.
It's a pretty powerful ability, but it's going to be a little tricky to use. If you've got a card like that that just lets you ready something and do it again in the middle of the turn, then maybe you can pull it off twice.
Where does the amber go after
it common supply.
Okay, all right.
So you're capturing amber and then just throwing it away. You're not claiming it for yourself.
You know, I still think that's pretty fair.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It doesn't feel as unbalanced as it could be.
Yeah, there have been some of these preview cards in previous sets that you know, I looked at them and I was like, that just looks completely unreasonable.
Might be illegible.
This seems these preview cards so far seem pretty reasonable overall.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Well, I got one more.
Okay. Maybe we got something from the new Ouroboros.
Ooh, nope. This is Unfathomable.
We're doing fishes.
Yeah.
What do we got for fishes?
Slapdash Enamel. It's an artifact item. At the start of your turn, destroy each card with a corrosion counter on it. Action, put a corrosion counter on a card in play.
Man, they are broadening their horizons a little bit with effects that affect cards instead of just artifacts or just creatures. Because that was true for Edifice of Mars, too.
The scary thing about this one, this is a common.
Really?
Yeah. So if this shows up as
multiples.
In multiples maybe even.
In multiples, that's kind of scary.
Have a card in play that every single time you call Unfathomable, after the first time you play it, you can just set something up for destruction, and it will die at the beginning of your next turn.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of ways to play around that, but it still forces choices, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things I really like about the disruption style houses, right, like Dis and Unfathomable, is I like it when their cards force a decision, you know? And I think that fits that mold pretty well. Because, like, I really feel like the best cards for a house that's designed to disrupt what your opponent is doing are the cards that tell them, you know, they don't just say you can't do what you want to do. They say, okay, now you've got to make a choice.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like that's one of those that can force some really tough decisions.
Yeah. I just think it's, I compare that to something like there was a doll card Dis had early on.
Wretched doll?
Put like a a doom counter on something,
Yeah.
and then the next time you activate the effect, you could pick the same thing, and because it already had a doom counter, it would kill it.
Yeah.
This is so much stronger than that.
Yeah, it's definitely faster too, and I'm pretty sure Wretched Doll was like a rare, and at a common that could actually get some mileage.
I do like that it can target any card because that means you can use that to answer artifacts. You can use it to answer a lot of things.
I honestly feel like, and y'all can disagree if you want, but I feel like just from this small sample, they've decided artifact removal needs to be better. And I think Amber Skies really pushed that narrative.
I kind of agree, because if you don't have artifact in removal in a deck, you either don't care, because your opponent never plays anything that warrants it, because some decks just don't have artifacts at all.
Yeah.
Or you just are completely out of luck, because their artifacts are so good that you just can't
do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that they're giving you artifact control that doesn't have to be only artifact control. So if you're up against one of those decks with no artifacts, your cards still have something to do.
So the next thing I want to look at is I got the Great Hunt Nightmare mode. I got it mostly because it has 6 new Sky Beasts in it, and I feel like there's just not enough Sky Beasts in the base Great Hunt. So I want to take a look at these to see what we think of them, because the Great Hunt is absolutely my favorite of the KeyForge adventures so far. Like, I love it. It's very replayable. It's a great time. But the biggest issue is there's just not enough Sky Beast cards in the Sky Beast deck, and you end up losing really quickly if you're playing with multiple players, which sucks because the whole point of the adventures is that you can play them cooperatively with multiple players. And so the idea that the game is less fun with more people is just kind of backwards to me. So I want to see what all's in here. It says it's got 6 Sky Beasts, 11 adventure cards, and 3 Nantucket upgrades. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I care about the adventure cards at all. I may just not use those ever. But the Sky Beasts I'm interested in. And I've seen some of the previews for these Sky Beasts. Some of these Sky Beasts in here, just like in the Great Hunt Adventure, never actually made it into Amber Skies. So there are some Sky Beasts that do exist in the KeyForge lore, and that exist in the game, but not in the Amber Skies set. You have to buy the Great Hunt Adventure, and then subsequently the Great Hunt... hey, Dave! Welcome! Subsequently, the expansion. So, here's Alien Puffer, but they've renamed him Pufferpin. See if I can get even kind of good picture quality. Not really, but there he is. Hazardous 8, and his action exalts him, and then if there are 3 or more amber on him, he escapes, which is pretty common. Oh, he's got a different quote on him. His quote is from Mercy Malkin Queen. He says, "It's so cute."
Nice.
My wife would like that one.
Malkin Queen.
Yeah. And he's worth 4 victory points. And then Behemoth, who's worth 0 victory points. 5 power, deals no damage when fighting, gets +5 power and 1 renown for each amber on it. Oh, okay. So he's worth however much amber he accumulates. And then his action just says he captures 1. So I guess he just keeps taking your amber until you kill him.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. But he becomes worth more renown as he does that.
Now remind me, when they say capture 1, you choose...
Active player.
Active player.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever's player was just the last turn is the one it'll take from.
Yeah, because they get all the same turns you get. Mm-hmm. That's why multiplayer is so hard. Well, and because it goes through the deck so quickly. Because there's only 12 cards in the deck, so you get 4 turns apiece before you've gone through the whole deck. This is one of the ones I was talking about that is in this but not in the set. Gorgonam? It's a dragon. Dragon. Worth 4 renown, 12 power. Prey, the least powerful enemy creature in the Sky Realm, otherwise Port Halyard. Oh, it's a Sky Beast that will attack Port Halyard. Oh, dear.
Oh, that's actually kind of scary. I mean, he's only 12 power, so still. After fight, destroy the least powerful enemy creature in the Sky Realm. So he attacks the least powerful enemy creature in the Sky Realm, and if they don't die, he destroys them. No, even if they do die, he'll then destroy a different one.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Least powerful enemy creature. Otherwise, forgotten. Destroys the least powerful enemy creature. Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's scary.
Yeah. That's especially scary. Well, I guess the Nantucket doesn't count as a creature.
I forget. How big do the Sky Beasts get? Are there ones bigger
30.
than him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
A Kugio's 30.
But in a weird turn of events, though, he could destroy something that's like 6 in his fight, and then his after fight could destroy like the 30 power guy.
Yeah.
Because it just happens. No, wait. Does it say least powerful other Sky Beast or least powerful Sky Beast?
Enemy creature.
Enemy.
So he won't count the other Sky Beasts. He'll only count the Stormkin and the Nantucket, but the Nantucket's not a creature.
Oh, okay.
So it'll attack the Nantucket, but it can't just straight up destroy it.
All right. I was misinterpreting that.
At least I think so. I would have to double check the rulebook for more clarification, but
okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that.
That's interesting, though.
And then Sentient Cloud, 6 renown, 1 power, 10 armor. Action Sentient Cloud escapes. It will be there for 1 activation. You have 1 activation to kill this thing.
Is it worth much?
6 renown is pretty high.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, but so much armor.
Yeah.
You gotta beat through all that armor and then just tap it.
Yeah, but you gotta do it right now, or else the cloud dissipates and it gets away. Which I guess that makes sense.
No, that's a cool concept of a Sky Beast.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
And then here's Ancient Volax. This is their new biggest guy. So he's 7 renown with 50 power.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Prey the most powerful enemy creature in the Sky Realm. After fight, exalt Ancient Volax. If this was the first time Ancient Volax was used to fight this turn, ready and fight with it. It also never runs away. Camera upside down. Oh, well.
From Mark's perspective, maybe.
Yeah, sorry. I can flip the cards around. That'll be better. I apologize. It's got to be upside down from somebody's perspective. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, Ancient Volax. I'll try to remember that when I'm showing cards, because I don't want to make you guys try to read upside down.
I'm also in a better position to look at the screen while I'm looking at the camera.
Yeah, I have to there's a screen on the camera that I'm having to use, which is, it's tiny.
Which is also upside down.
Which is also, yeah. Sorry. So this guy doesn't ever actually flee. He just stays in the Sky Realm, bullying whatever the biggest things are repeatedly until he eventually dies from attritional damage.
Huh. And he fights twice each turn.
Yeah.
So that's scary.
Yeah. He's a big, beefy boy.
Yeah.
So wait, did I flip him? Hold on. Did I flip him? Yes, I think.
That looks right.
Okay.
Yep, I'm happy with that.
Ta-ta-ta-ta. Much better. Thank you for pointing out that I was doing it upside down. And then the last one is a action that goes in the Sky Beast deck that says play each Sky Beast escapes. Which, I don't know, if you know anything about the Great Hunt Adventure, that's really bad. Any voyage that fails to turn a profit is a broken voyage. Well, that's kind of sad. It's got Silver Linings art, but it has a different name.
Yeah, you do not want all the Sky Beasts escaping. That's a terrifying card.
Yeah, this one I might not actually use. I might just not include that.
Just a little bit too much.
Yeah, it is perhaps just a little too...
They could have better worded that as you lose the game. Because it's darn near the same thing.
All right, so I'm gonna real quick go through what they added for the Stormkin deck. They added Arrow 04, Arrow 4, yeah. He's Skirmish, prey your least powerful creature, otherwise Port Halyard. He gets +1 power for each amber on him, and after he fights, he captures 2. Then you move him to the left flank of the Stormkin battle line. Okay, yeah, he gets bigger, he's a little beefy. Strafe Caliban, who uses, what's the...
Oh, yeah. I can't think of his name either.
He uses this artwork. I forget the name of that.
It was in one of the decks I was playing recently, but unfortunately I just can't tell you.
I forget the name of that creature, but...
I'll look it up and we'll get back to you.
I really got to play this adventure. You should. It's a good adventure. It's better with only one person, but I'm hoping that'll be fixed by having a larger deck. Anyway, he's got action, deal 1 damage to each of your non-flank creatures. Okay, and destroy one of your flank creatures. That's rude! Earl of Hurl? Is this Lay Earl of Hurl?
I think it is.
Okay.
Yes. Somebody else could beat me to it.
Yeah.
Get there.
Not sure this one is needed in Nightmare mode. I agree. I really think that just making them all go away is too much.
Lay Earl of Hurl.
Yeah. There's another copy of Night Stalker, which that was already there.
Show them for comparison purposes.
Yeah, it's the same art,
yeah.
just a different name. Yeah, that's the right one. There's another copy of Night Stalker, which Night Stalker's already in there. This one might be slightly different. They sometimes do that with the Nightmare mode, but...
Are you supposed to take the other one out? Or
No, you're supposed to just add the new ones, yeah. Skulking Saboteurs, that's in there already, but they added another copy. I think this just does the same thing as the current one. They just put another one in there. Fire Away. This looks like an original art that I don't think ended up anywhere in Amber Skies. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that looks to me like a new art that I don't think they ended up using anywhere in the set.
Yeah. Is for each creature on the right flank of each battle line. Oh. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, it looks very Brobnar, but I don't remember Brobnar having a card with that art. The name's probably different, but... Hey, Against All Flags! I wonder if this one's more fair. Play the topmost Stormkin creature from the Stormkin discard pile. Ready each Stormkin Raider creature. Yeah, that's way more fair. Seems like I saw the slingshot somewhere. Yeah, maybe?
I'm kind of wondering. I'm going to see if I can look it up. It'd be Amber Skies tokens a change.
Yeah, for sure. And probably Brobnar, if I'm just spitballing.
Brobnar.
The Stormkin have no allies. They strike against anyone with riches. Okay, I mean, that's not too busted, actually. Especially for, a KeyForge adventure. That's pretty fine. Oh my goodness. They put in Arsonometer. And this is more fair, too! Arsonometer just says your keys cost +2.
Okay, that's not so bad.
That's not so bad. Who cares how it works? It works. Quoted by Jack Ketch, who's a Skyborn guy. They put 2 copies of it, but here's the Arsonometer, the more fair one, the one we all prefer.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any Brobnar cards in the last round of sets that include that. Where there weren't new cards in Discovery, so there's not really anywhere else it could have been.
Yeah. Okay. Seems like unused art.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is cool. Full effect text 2. Yeah, right? On the Arsonometer, it's got all of its effect text.
Oh, okay.
Instead of missing some at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep. It's better. It's more fair, and it's all there. They put in Shard of Resurgence, Shard of Courage, and Shard of Change. So all 3 of the new shards.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is weird. They all attach to Treasure Island. Do these go in the treasure deck? They do. Okay, so these are new for the treasure deck. So whenever the there's circumstances under which the Stormkin get to draw a treasure card. I'm pretty sure it's every time they beat a Sky Beast, they get a treasure card. No, it's every time they would forge a key. So when they forge a key, it's possible for them to get one of these as well, which maybe these will be incredible. I don't know. They're all 3 invulnerable. They all attach to Treasure Island. Shard of Resurgence says at the start of each enemy turn, archive the top card of the Stormkin discard pile for each shard attached to Treasure Island. That's pretty good. Courage says at the start of each enemy turn, fully heal the leftmost Stormkid creature for each shard. That's not bad. And Shard of Courage says this card is worth +3 renown for each other shard attached to Treasure Island.
Oh, wow.
That's nuts. They're worth 3 each normally, but Shard of Change is worth 3 +3 more for each of the other 2.
So 9?
If you have all 3.
Yeah.
If they somehow manage to get all 3, which is really a lot.
Yeah.
They're getting the mileage out of those art commissions. I mean, some of them, but some of these are arts we've not seen anywhere else.
Yeah.
And so, like, It's a little bit of it's a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
The plan
You know?
was to put them here first, and then they ended up in the set, kind of by accident.
Well, not exactly, because they planned on putting Sky Beasts in the set from the beginning. So I imagine the Sky Beasts in the adventure were like supposed to end up in the set, but they didn't all end up in the set. In fact, I feel like the Sky
was in the set.
Behemoth. Well, yeah, I feel like this skyship was one of the ones I really liked in the adventure, and it's nowhere in Amber Skies. But it just looks super cool. Like, that's just a really awesome looking design. And it just never appeared anywhere in Amber Skies. I don't know. And then they added 3 new upgrades. A blue, a yellow, and a red one. And this one's called Improvised Adhesive. It takes the blue key slot, and it says other upgrades cannot be destroyed. That's okay. The yellow one is Sharp Spikes. Nantucket gains hazardous 3. That's actually not really enough to be worth it. And then the red one says Nantucket gains after fight deal 3 damage to an enemy creature. That's not too bad. That's okay. All right, I'm decently satisfied with this. I think it'll do what I want, right? Which is make the Sky Beast deck a little bigger so that you can get a few more turns when you're playing with more people, which was really all I was looking for anyway. I don't even know if I'm going to use the extra adventure deck cards or the extra... I mean, I might use the extra upgrades because why not? But still, that was pretty cool. We got a new super key. I already have one of these, but I'll go ahead and open it for anybody who hasn't seen them or doesn't know what they are or anything. These are a really cool idea that just, for me, didn't quite execute correctly.
Yeah, I ended up getting one with the most recent Vault Tour, but I don't really use it because I'm fairly happy with the keys I have from Burger Tokens.
Yeah, and like I have keys that my wife's a graphic design artist, and she made some keys, and so I use those.
Yeah,
you know, but the super key is a neat idea that I think didn't quite come all the way together. But I'll show it off because it is cool. For anyone who hasn't seen these, so this.
Yes. That is the official newish.
This is the super key. So you can see it's got a little forge and a forged side for all of them. They kind of spin.
Yeah.
And it's fine. There's a couple of design flaws that make it not perfect.
Yeah.
But it's okay. You
have to be a little careful about how you pick it up, that you don't flip too many things all at once, but it's not bad.
It's not bad. It was a pretty good idea, executed pretty well. I think is my takeaway.
I mostly keep these because they just fit so cleanly in with the rest of them.
Oh yeah, no, you've got a whole sorting system that I actually like a lot. I think it works really well.
I've seen plenty of people using similar boxes. It's not an uncommon attempt.
So then they also gave us prophecy markers, which I will probably use today, but then maybe never again. Because they're a neat idea.
I thought perhaps I ordered both colors. It turns out I've only got the purple one. But that was the limited edition one.
Yeah.
Supposedly I'll be able to get the other one other places.
Right.
So
I went ahead and got both, because my 2 favorite colors in the world are purple and orange, and those were the 2 colors. And I was like, sold. Yeah. You got me. You got me, GG. So there's the purple one.
Yeah.
So I'll turn it around, because there's the purple one. And here's the orange one. And I will go ahead and use these today because,
they're kind of neat.
They're kind of neat, and we're here. I don't know if I'll ever use them again, though. That's sort of the thing. Okay, so are we feeling good? Is everybody feeling good? Because we're ready to start doing some spicy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing, though, is I want to go ahead and make an announcement. So I got 3 name decks because of the level I pledged at. And feel free to share this around with anybody you want, because I'm really excited about this. But I got 3. So normally what I do when I get 3 is I get 1 for me, I get 1 for my wife, and then I get 1 for my mom. But my mom got her own pledge this year, or this Gamefound. So she got her own name deck already, which means I had a 3rd one that I didn't know what I was going to do with. So what I decided I was going to do is I picked a name to put in a deck, and I decided that I'm going to raffle this one off, and I'm going to send it to whoever ends up winning the raffle. So all you got to do to potentially win this deck is I'm going to put up the VOD version of this stream, the video on demand version. Go over to the video on demand version, like it, put a comment, and you'll be entered. I'll give you guys a couple of weeks. I'm not going to do the raffle before I get back from Portland at the very latest, or at the very earliest. So you'll have a little bit of time. I'll give you a more specific date before very long, but it's going to be about 2 weeks, maybe a little longer. And whoever wins will get this deck. Now, I didn't pick the houses for this deck. I just picked the names. So the houses are random. I'm also not going to show you the deck list. I'm just going to show you the front, where it's got the name, the Archon image, and the 3 houses. And then I'm going to let you guys, go from there. But I went with What's Up Archon because of my intro.
Okay.
And so this is Reaver What's Up Archon. And it will will find its way home with one of you lucky viewers at some point in the future. And all you got to do is, I'm going to put up a video on demand version of this stream. All you got to do is like it and put a comment below. That's it. That's all it takes. I'll do a raffle, and then I will reach out to the winner and figure out how to get the deck to him. I'll probably mail it, most likely. And but yeah, so it is Untamed, Star Alliance, and Redemption. And again, I didn't pick these houses. This is a random selection based off of just the regular algorithm. So this could be anything. I haven't even looked at it. The Archon does look really cool. I'm very happy with it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the purple's nice. So this I hope you guys are really excited about this. I have been sitting on this for months, and I am terrible at secrets. I'm going to put this right over here.
Twice I've heard that there was a secret. I have not known until now what it was.
So that's the secret. I made a deck. It's What's Up Archon. It's going to go to one of you fantastic viewers out there somewhere. Share it around. Tell everybody. I think this is going to be really cool. I haven't looked at the deck list at all. I don't intend to. I don't know. I don't know what it is. You don't know what it is, but it's definitely Prophetic Visions. It's absolutely Untamed, Star Alliance, and Redemption. It's got a purple back. It's called Reaver, What's Up Archon. Some very lucky person out there is going to end up with it. And who knows, maybe one of these days it'll end up winning a Vault Tour. And that would be just, incredible, right? That would be just the coolest thing ever. But I don't know. All right, so now we're going to switch gears, and I'm going to go to my Flightless Pheasant deck. This one is Flightless Pheasant, the... Oh, no!
What happened?
Oh, no! Flightless Pheasant, the ethically girded. Oh, GG, why? Why would you do this to me? It's Sanctum Logos Star Alliance. That's so rude! I mean, on some levels I love it, and on some levels I'm like, oh no. Yeah. The ethically girded. That feels like an attack.
Well, honestly, I think mine is a pretty good follow-up to that, because I got honestly shocked Odinsana. Whoops. Let me see how I can get... There we go. That's how I get rid of the player-ish.
Sort of.
I picked these houses, so this one was not random.
Yeah, these houses were random. So both the name decks I got had random houses. And I've also been told the playmats this time around are stitched. Which,
Yeah, I've been peeking at mine because I couldn't wait.
Yeah,
see what
look at that. That's actually nice.
I did not put the...
They've got people. It's hard to tell, but they've got stitched edges.
Yeah.
Honestly shocked. Are you honestly shocked? Are you honestly shocked? They called me ethically girded!
And I'm honestly shocked.
GG, if you want to at me, you don't have to do it public. You can...
Yeah. I always get orange for mine, but this one turned out pretty well. I didn't get any of the fancy...
Oh, the houses and stuff?
I had it totally left blank, and I like the way it looks.
So you know what? And I'm just noticing this looking at it. I usually get the houses and the characters. These are not new characters from Prophetic Visions. These are all reprint characters. Because that's Minerva's Wings.
Yeah.
That's Mother Northel. and that's Val Jericho,
Yep.
who are all reprints. These are all older cards.
Yeah. Interesting.
Why? I wonder. I often wonder about the behind-the-scenes production stuff. Yeah. This is the first time I've gotten a personalized one that wasn't an insult. Yikes.
I've gotten one personalized deck out of each Gamefound campaign so far, and now that I have 4 of them, I was thinking about having my own little mini tournament and seeing which one's the best between them.
Ace of Keys says it's because we've criticized their handling of the lore lately. I mean, well, I've got more critiques.
Yeah, I think you guys better gird yourself further because
I'm not done. I got more coming. All right. So I say we go ahead and crack the name decks, and we'll start with those. I do also want to do at least one round of Crucible Clash. And, like, maybe I'll also open my Anomaly deck. I know you guys are probably going to want to see that. But I want to use the name deck first, because, I mean, like, yeah, I want to use the name deck first. I'm going to squirrel away my ID card here. Nope, not that one. This one.
Yeah.
So that it stays a secret. But I am going to take a peek at it, and I might read it out to you guys, but I'm going to keep it away from the camera. All right, let's see what I got. My prophecies are Stars Aligned, Wasteful Regret, Outlook Not So Good, and The Early Bird. Logos, Cyberclone, 2 Archons callbacks, Foreseer, 3 Captain Chaws, 2 Neotechnic Gophers, a Wild Wormhole, a Wormhole Technician, and a ZYX Researcher. That's not too bad. Sanctum, the Vault Keeper, Benevolent Charity, Bring Low, 2 Chanel the Wise, 2 Brigadier Ols, a Burning Glare, Dame Margaret, 2 Divine Seals, and a Greedy Reprisal. Okay, fair enough. And then Star Alliance, 2 Ensign Clark, a Future Booster, a Precision Striker, 3 refits. Oh, gross. I don't want 3 refits. A Revisionist Jones, 2 Silitate, 1 Spade Teller, and 1 Strategic Feign. I don't know if I like that Star Alliance. Refit was one of those cards that I thought wasn't particularly great when they previewed it, and the more I look at the set, the worse I think it is. Make sure Sydney doesn't realize I have her in her deck. No, I'm going to tell her. Next time I see her, when I go to Portland, I'm going to be like, you're in my deck. My ethically girded deck. What are you talking about? Don't let her find out. I'm going to tell her. Hang on, I'm going to grab some sleeves because I'm unprepared. Clear sleeves, because the back art in this game is incredible. Not really related to the video, but imagine a battle of Warhammer Space Marines versus House Brobnar. House Brobnar gets annihilated. Are you kidding? Space Marines are, like,
scary guys.
One of the most ridiculous forces in fiction. Played Prophetic Visions and Crucible Clash on TTS with my son this morning for his birthday. Okay, Prophetic Visions, great game, but he stomped me with Crucible Clash. Crazy Archon power. Yeah, I'm interested. I want to see the Archon powers in action. I feel like for a sealed environment, the Archon powers might be a lot of fun. You know?
How many of those you got? Can you spare 2 of them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because these, I kind of required to flip them around quite a bit.
Oh yeah, you're right. I should pull mine out too. And
yeah, the rest of it I'm okay putting in single-sided sleeves, but I'm gonna have to get another batch of clears because
you're running low.
Yeah.
All right, so let me see. I got Stars Aligned. This one I think is busted. At the start of your opponent's turn, if each player has the same number of creatures, fulfill Stars Aligned. That's easy. And the other side of that is Wasteful Regret. During your opponent's turn, after your opponent discards a card from their hand, fulfill Wasteful Regret. That's probably not too bad either. Then my other one is the Early Bird. At the end of your opponent's turn, if they have more amber in their pool than you, fulfill the Early Bird. That's not too bad. That's pretty... I mean, it's easy to avoid, but also, like, frustrating to play around. And then the other one is Outlook Not So Good. After your opponent chooses an active house that matches no cards in play, fulfill Outlook Not So Good. You know, Stars Aligned and Outlook Not So Good Oh yeah, tabletop simulator. I figured it out. I was being dumb there for a little bit trying to figure it out, but I did. I did figure it out. Thank you, Dave, though. Thank you, team captain. Protect my integrity. Or gird my ethics. Stars Align and Outlook Not So Good are the two that I think are probably the easiest to pull off, particularly in the early game. Because like if I win first turn, I can guarantee pull off an Outlook Not So Good, as long as we don't share any two. Actually, even if we do share houses, I can just pitch a card or play an action, and then there's nothing in play, and no matter what house you pick, my prophecy activates.
Okay.
Same thing with Stars Align. All I have to do is just not play a creature.
Yeah, I haven't read mine too closely yet, but I do have Stars Aligned, which you've already mentioned. Same number of creatures.
Yeah.
On the backside of that is Expect the Unexpected. During your opponent's turn, after your opponent shuffles their deck, fulfill it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
if you can time it,
yeah, if you got it timed right, that could be really good. If you, I don't know, if something requires them to not be haunted or something, but I don't think haunted really plays into all this.
Not really. There's no Geistoid, so haunted's kind of.
My other card, I'm gonna have to make a decision here between Overreach, which is during an opponent's turn after an enemy creature is used to reap.
That's
trying
not
to keep them from reaping. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Or Heads I Win. At the end of your turn, you may flip Heads I Win. During your opponent's turn, after your opponent plays a creature adjacent to a creature of the same house, fulfill Heads I Win. Well, that's weird.
Yeah, so there's Heads I Win and Tails You Lose. They can both flip to their other side, but the card underneath them stays the same when they do that.
Yeah. So I can start on Heads I Win.
Yeah.
And say during your opponent's turn, after they play a creature adjacent to a creature of the same house, fulfill it, which could really restrict them if they want to call a house and play like 3 creatures from that house. There's not going to be much they can really do to avoid it. Or I can then just flip it over and say now they have to after they reap. So I feel like I'm probably going to be sticking with Stars Aligned because shuffling happens a little less frequently. But then this is an interesting choice with the Heads I Win in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did Goldfish my 2 named decks and say some of the timing of prophecy cards really matters with some of the fates. Yeah. Like Stars Aligned always happens at the start, and I had a fate to destroy exhausted creatures. Yeah. No, I can see that. I can see that being a little tricky if your prophecies and your fates don't quite line up right.
Yeah.
What are my other 2? I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh yeah, Early Bird, which is not too bad. And Wasteful. Misty. Come on. Sorry. Zero Mercenary just got back. He's dropping off some stuff, and Misty's saying hi. He was gone for a few days, so he's not familiar anymore.
No, it's a complete stranger now.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll get these sleeved up. What else? Oh, we've got some new stuff. Got a deck with both Heads I Win and Tails You Lose on the same card.
Nice.
Oh, that sounds cool. Yeah.
That's almost like one of those goals for the set sort of things. Get that on some.
Yeah.
Something. I don't know how many prophecies there are or fate cards or whatever these
22 prophecies.
Okay.
Yeah, 22 prophecies. And you get 4 per deck, and you're guaranteed not to get 2 of the same. So, there's some variety. Dave says his son pulled a help from another self anomaly in his first regular prophetic vision decks, not the guaranteed one. Wow. Tell him congrats, because help from another self I actually kind of like. I don't think I like it better than help from future self necessarily, but like I think it's fun, you know? And since fun is the point of the game, at least ostensibly, I also like that there's early birds and second mouse. Yeah, there's early bird. The early bird and the second mouse are also prophecies. which I think is really cool too. Oh, actually,
Yeah.
I do want to put this in. Yeah, I got the two prophecies that I believe are like the most abusable. I don't know what fates I have off the top. Excuse me, off the top of my head.
Yeah, I was just gonna look at that.
I suppose I could look through it too. I don't have the cards like memorized. I did go through the card list because I'm a cheating cheater who cheats.
Ooh, that's interesting.
What have I got for? Yeah, I knew that one's not great. Oh! Hey guys, what do we think of that? Do you see the house pip on that?
Which house is it?
Sanctum.
Sanctum Wild Wormhole.
Yeah.
That's spicy.
Yeah.
I didn't look for house pips. Let me glance through for house pips quick.
Alright, so the only fates...
There's a house pip.
The only fates I have in Logos are draw a card, which is not horrible, but not, like, incredible.
Yeah, I got one house pip in my entire deck, and it is a dis-pipped Wormhole Technician.
Huh.
Which isn't terrible, but is a little weird since reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Logos card, play it. Otherwise, archive it as an after read. And I'm doing that in house dis, so I'm kind of archiving out of house in that case instead of in-house.
Let's see. I got 2 Divine Seals. Their fate purges the bottom card of my opponent's deck. I got a Greedy Reprisal. Deal 2 damage to a friendly creature for each point of armor on enemy creatures. How many creatures do I have with armor?
You look at the fates again?
Yeah. I'm just poking my fates to see if I've got... There's one. I guess the Brigadier Olms probably is going to have it most of the time. And his could get bigger. +2 armor for each key your opponent has forged. Yeah, that could actually be pretty spicy. 2 damage to a friendly creature for each point of armor on enemy creatures.
Oh,
yeah, but you're probably just going to put all that damage on one guy, right? For each amber in your opponent's pool, destroy a creature. Oh, that's better, though. Let's see. We'll also confirm the Burger Token 37 unsleeved deck boxes is good enough for a PV deck. Good.
I prefer what they call their 40, 42, 43 sleeved. I can tell you, I've got some right here.
Okay,
yeah,
I've got
43S. That's the ones I use because I tend to sleeve in some thicker sleeves, like Dragon Shields or the like.
I've got a Fate that destroys artifacts. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Destroy an upgrade attached to a friendly creature. Yeah, Refit is just not very good. It destroys an upgrade or can be used to move upgrades. I don't think I even have any upgrades in this deck. So, like, I guess I'm trying to steal my opponents. That was one of the things that really upset me is Refit is in this set, and the number of upgrades in this set is really, really small. Like, it's just not really worth much. That when I finally play PV, I'm GPing to pretend like... Oh, probably going. I'm going to pretend like Fate effects don't exist and prophecy cards are just pretty art you get to have on the side to look at. No! That I don't know if 37 will work proper sleeved, not penny sleeves. I don't know if the 37 sleeve decks works with proper sleeves.
Yes, that's what I was saying. I used to use the 37s, and they're just, if you put them in like Dragon Shields or whatnot, they fit, but it's so tight it just doesn't feel good. Which is why I still use the 43s for my decks that are sleeved in something thicker like Dragon Shields. That's kind of what I was saying earlier. So in my
interesting,
what do you got now?
That's interesting.
What's it called?
Strategic feint.
Strategic feint.
Feint.
Okay.
Like a feinting attack. Like
yeah. Strategic feint. Okay.
Yeah. It's got 3 capture pips on it, which it doesn't normally have. So it's normally 1 amber, but it's 1 amber, 3 capture. If I play it, it deals 1 damage to 2 enemy creatures and exhausts them. Or as a fate effect, which means I lose all the pips, I can make my opponent discard the top card of their deck, and until the end of the turn, they may not play cards of the discarded card's type.
May not play. You know, I think I got that one as well.
Yeah.
May not play cards of the discarded card's type.
Yeah.
What was it called again?
Strategic Feint.
I got something similar, but I'm not actually sure it's the same.
That is not. That is probably Lord. Okay, yeah. My decks. Well, your deck has both Early Bird and Second Mouse on different prophecies. Ooh. I won with it today with a copy of Shadow's Predatory Lending under each. Wow.
This is a little different than what you were saying. It's called Traumatic Echo. It's an action in Dis. It says, purge a card from my discard pile. During my opponent's next turn, they cannot play cards of the purged cards type.
Yeah.
So that's a little different.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of game plan disruption in this set, which I think was the point, right? I think the whole point of this set is that it's supposed to mess with your opponent's game plan and make whatever it is they were going to do either not work or just worse.
I find it kind of amusing that it almost looks like he's grabbing for the damage pip on that card. Just because the way the art happens to be.
Yeah. He looks unstable.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a very stable fella.
Yeah.
I ended up with a lot of house pips. I think I got pips from all 3 of my houses.
No, I only got the 1 pip across the whole deck. I was looking at my fates, though, when we were talking about fates. In Dis, I've got 2 fates. I've got this thing called a Chasm Vespid. This fate is archive each friendly creature not on a flank.
Yeah.
So if they've got a big board, it can archive everything in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Which could get rid of quite a few guys.
Yeah.
And then probably the better option.
I agree. I think disruption is supposed to be the main strength of this set. It's supposed to disrupt game plans.
Mm-hmm. The other disc creature is a thing called a parasitic arachnoid.
Oh, God.
Its fate effect says a friendly creature captures 2 from its own side.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
It does say that thing that you just said.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then, looking at my other houses, over in Logos, I have that Unstable Dale. His fate is deal 3 damage to each friendly creature. So that's almost a one-sided board wipe in some cases.
It's a lot better than the one that I have that says it deals 2 damage to a friendly creature for each something or other. Because of the way it's worded, you can just put all the damage on one of your guys. So like there's it basically just says kill a creature.
Yeah, this one's a lot weaker. This fate on Neotechnic Gopher is your opponent draws a card.
Yes.
It's like 1 card? Okay, I guess. If I don't have anything else. This one could be, it's a little niche, but in the right circumstance, this could be a deal breaker. Reassembly required. Fate to discard your archives.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In the right circumstance, that could be real valuable.
This set is not super archive heavy, so that's for disrupting other sets for the most part.
This one's also very niche. I'm getting into my redemption. I've got a charitable herald.
Okay.
Its fate is remove each ward from each friendly creature.
Oh.
That's very niche.
Yeah.
But if your opponent's got a whole board of warded dudes, that could be pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like just dealing damage to the whole board, like with the guy over in Logos, is probably just better.
It's an option for sure.
This is a weird one. This guy is the Fallen Sovereign. He is a 4-power mutant politician.
Oh, yeah.
Each of his neighbors gains the mutant trait.
Yeah.
And his fate is put him into play under your control. So your opponent gets him instead of you.
We were talking about this. So I said I'd mention it. Here it comes. Here comes one of my rants. I've got like 3 of them on Redemption. Here comes one. Redemption does an awful lot of turning things into mutants, which feels thematically backwards. I get mechanically why they did it. It was so all the cards that hate on mutants had mutants to hate on. But, like, from a lore perspective, why on God's green earth is Redemption spreading Dark Amber mutation on purpose? Like, what possible compelling reason could they have to do that intentionally? I guess other than they're way more evil than we thought, and it gives them a pretense to kill people they already wanted to kill. But, like, that's really dark, even for the lore we've gotten for them.
Yeah.
You know? or like they're making people unwilling test experiments. I don't know. It just feels lore unfriendly, you know?
Yeah. I know.
You know, I don't mind Redemption having mutants and mutant hate. I really don't. And I don't even necessarily mind that means Redemption is at its best when it's fighting itself. I feel like from a lore and flavor perspective, that kind of feels right. You know, where Redemption is just sort of so self-destructive that the best thing it can do is attack itself. You know, right?
Yeah.
Because their whole philosophy is sort of self-destructive. But
you know, their whole philosophy is what? If the mutants either work for us or die.
yeah,
So those mutants aren't working for us. They're working for that guy. I gotta kill them.
right. But it just feels really, really strange. Also, second rant. Here comes the second one. I got 3. Here's the second one. I don't like that they picked up some random actions from non-Sanctum houses that have nothing to do with mutants. Why on earth does Redemption have Stampede? If you were going to give them Stampede, first of all, Stampede's a terrible card. Why did we give them Stampede?
Why'd you give anybody Stampede?
Right. But if you wanted them to have Stampede, you could have renamed the card, given it new art, and put it into Redemption originally. You know? Yeah, Stampede, Follow the Leader, and there's a third one that they also just took from like a random other house. Corrode, that's the other one. Stampede, Corrode, and Follow the Leader. None of those are from Sanctum. None of those have anything to do with mutants. Why? Is that just Redemption's identity now? Is they just steal random cards from other houses for no explicable reason? Like, are we saying that their flavor is so like dependent on every other house that they can't have their own flavor, and so instead they're just going to constantly take other people's stuff? Like, that just doesn't feel right. Why? Why not just change the name? You know, like Lithologica and UFO are the same card in 2 different houses. You could have done that. If you really wanted them to have a Corrode, and you really wanted them to have a Follow the Leader, and you really wanted them to have a Stampede, rename it, give it a new art, do something, you know?
I did have one more fate in my deck. If
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, I'm not. You're first. This had to happen. I just.
He's like, the rant was coming.
Yeah, I just wanted to finish my own little portion of this.
Okay.
If there are any enemy mutant creatures, your opponent gains 2.
Oh, okay, so that I kind of like.
This is called Genetic Strain.
Yeah.
It's an interesting card.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's almost like, and this is kind of that whole Redemption has mutants thing, because this is your opponent playing this.
Oh.
So if you're any enemy mutant creatures, that's the person playing the Redemption, and you're giving them the Amber as well.
Yeah, but that's the way Fate's supposed to work. If you have Redemption and any number of mutants, then this says when your Fate goes off, I give you 2 Amber, or you gain 2 Amber. So that's actually pretty good for Redemption. But it is also them gaining Amber for having mutants, which does feel a little weird. So I want to address Ace of Keys' comment, because that's my third rant. You hit on my third rant. So having Redemption as a house, as an 8th house that can't exist without Sanctum is also really dumb. They basically have nothing to do with each other anymore. Or do they? Because here's my third rant. There are 3 cards in this set that were printed in House Redemption, in Tokens of Change, that are now back in Sanctum for no explicable reason. The Promised Blade, Mantle of the Zealot, and Book of Malefaction have found their way back to Sanctum somehow, even though 2 of those are unique, one-of-a-kind artifacts. And I guess the third one isn't like unique or one-of-a-kind. Like Mantle of the Zealot is probably just a thing that they have and can hand out. But it fits Redemption way better than Sanctum, so why did Sanctum get it back? Are these 2 separate houses or not? Did Redemption take a portion of Sanctum's resources and become their own thing, or didn't they? If they are, in fact, the same, then why can't they appear in a deck together? Like, the lore for Redemption in this set is so scatterbrained. Yeah, I didn't even know about the card switching houses back. Yeah, look it up. It's crazy. The Promised Blade... Go to Archon Arcana. They're on there. The Promised Blade, Book of Malefaction, and Mantle of the Zealot all three made their way back to House Redemption, or back to House Sanctum from House Redemption. They were in House Redemption in Tokens of Change, and now they're back in Sanctum. Why? How? Like, at this point, either GG has no idea what they're doing with this house, or they're not telling us something. And I'm hoping it's just that they're not telling us something, but, like, it's hard to hold that hope. It's hard to hold that hope after looking at the deck lists and the card lists for this set and going through it in just a little bit of detail, right? Because one of the videos I really wanted to do was Houses of the Crucible Redemption, but I'm not sure I can summarize this house to other people because I'm not sure that it has a cohesive identity to summarize. You know what I mean? Like, that it feels like I don't know what to tell you about this house because either everything I know about it is a mislead for a big reveal, or it makes no sense. All right. Let's play a game. We've been saying we're going to do it for a little while. Oh, hold on. When I looked at PV and on Archon Arcana, the thing that jumped out at me was less than a dozen upgrades and about 30 artifacts with over 20 of them being rare. Yeah, there's a really small number of upgrades, especially for them to have an action card at common in Star Alliance that moves upgrades. Like, refit is a cool idea, but this set did not manage it. Maybe the summer event will explain. Y'all look me in the eyes. I do not want the summer event to be Sanctum versus Redemption. I don't. I would do it, and I think it's what they're going to do. I really think it's what they're going to do. But I think it's a bad idea because they've just not made it interesting. Redemption is just too wishy-washy to be a compelling alternative to Sanctum at this point. Especially